Hello everyone, this is Mohammed from Python Ninja YouTube channel, and in this tutorial we will highlight attributes augmentation in data-oriented programming, in which we will show how can we augment some attributes, how can we create attributes or new attributes from already created one. A data class entails some features including generating variables or attributes of that class from another instance variable or attributes using a special method or dunder method post init. This post init augments the object class after it is initiating using the generating data after initialization, meaning that I use post init to generate or augment data based on the already created attributes. Okay, so let us start by importing random, and I will also import the string to create ID generator. I will also import from data classes. Okay, I will import data class, and I will start by defining generate ID or ID generator, and this is a function we designed in the previous tutorials, and this will join a string of random dot choices, and I will choose from the string dot ASCII capital, and I will select k equals 7 for selecting a password or for selecting an ID or creating a random ID. Okay, with 7 letters. Okay, so let us test this function, and when we call this function, then it will test to me each time different code. For that, I have to use random .seed to fix the random generation. Okay, you can use any number. So I will keep 24 here, but I usually use 42 or 123 or whatever you want to use. Okay, and let us repeat the data class we created, and I will use here the data class decorator. Okay, and in this class we created employee class. Okay, and I inserted here some attributes. One is the name of type of string, and the address, which is also of type string, and we created married, and this of type boolean because it will be true or false, and the default value. Now we stop assigning default values. Okay, so we assign the default value for married status or material status. Here we have true, and we created email list. Okay, and which will be a type of list of strings, and list of strings here will be in this form, and the default value as what we learned together, that we can import field function here, and this field function will contain an argument which is the factory or default factory, sorry, and here the default factory will be list because I want to give a default value as an empty list for each instance that I create, and I want also to create an ID, and this ID of type string, and the default value will be also field, and the default value will be taken from the generate ID function, and we agreed that we remove the parentheses when we call the function and assign it to the argument. And now I want also to use the post init, which is a special method, and here we can define, for example, post init, and when we recall this post init, this allowed me to create a new attribute. I will create here a new attribute, and I want to store it, which is self.search, for example, search, and this self.search will take data or combine data from the above attributes. So we augment a new data, or we create a new data as self.search, and which will be taken from the above attributes. And this, for example, will be nothing but a string, and inside the string I will say the name, and this inside the string will be self.name. To be able to access the above attribute, we use self, okay, and this self.name will let us assign this label name equals self.name, and we also have the address, for example, or let us return also address here, and this address will equal the self.address, okay. And here we augmented this this attributes by self.search, which will be a new attribute, okay. Now let us define an outside function to make object, okay, and this will help me just to make an instance from the employee class, okay, and this will be employee. Let us choose random name here, and let us say, for example, I want to also consider the address of Milan here, and the other variables will be taken from the default value, okay. So let us print, okay, A and B1, and now I will make object invoke the make object. As you can see here, we have name, we have address, and we have material status or material state, but for search still not created here. What I will do here, what I can do here is to introduce the same name, which will be search here, and search will be of a type of str, so I have to list it up above, and this will be also field, only empty field, and just not to consider this search as part of the init or the constructor of the data class, because these are part, the above are part of the constructor, and I can say init equal false. This is typical to what we did when we hide the ID modification in the previous tutorial. We make it init equal false, which will be like outside here when we inserted init equal false, we import that this will be like outside the constructor, okay, of the data class object, because we don't need to change the ID. But here I created here, I used post init, okay, and this post init is a special method. Already this decorator is a class, and already it will contain init, which is the constructor. But here we have a special method called post init, in which we can augment or create a new attribute, and this attribute should be inserted in the above. When we run this, you can see here I have the search, which will equal name Mira, because I give the search to be combine the name and the address is Milan. As you can see here, we managed to augment a new data, or to create a new data based on the already created name and address. I created the self.search. After creating that, you have to assign this to the class attributes, which is in the above, or you can create it just in advance. Later you can use the same name as you prefer. Okay, that's for augmenting or creating a new attribute from already created attribute. For example, you can create as you can. For example, let us see, for example, name, okay, name, okay, underscore married, okay, and this will be of type string, and this will be also field, okay, and this will be outside the constructor, will not be included in the constructor, and I will use self dot name married like this, and this will be a string, and in this I will return the name equal. This is just a random augmentation, okay, just to show to you that you can do whatever you want. And here the married, okay, and will be self.married, okay. And when we recall this, you can see here I have also another augmentation which comes from name married. So remember, post init is used to augment the attributes you have. Okay, now let us restrict our implementation to search only, which engage the name and address together. And we want to highlight that we can make our a new variable or attribute as a private. So data classes preserve privacy and allow encapsulation for some attributes, similar to what we learned in the attribute encapsulation and method abstraction. We also can use a single leading underscore, okay, like this one in this attribute, and I can say single leading underscore, but this is partial secure, okay. Still search appear in the wrapper, and to be assured that you did fully encapsulation, you go to the field and you can turn off the wrapper, and the wrapper which will show me this a line that will print or show me this representation. If I use it false, meaning that don't consider the self.search within wrapper. And when we run this, you can see we don't have the search result now because we encapsulated it using self-leading underscore plus we turn off from the wrapper. But if you turn on the wrapper, which will show the string representation to me, it will come here and it will be appear. So remember, if you want to hide any attribute or any sensitive data, remember to turn off your wrapper, okay. And now it's not, it is not included in the wrapper, and now it has been removed. Remember that to access all attribute, even private or non-private, okay, so you can use .dict. For example, I will print the instance here, the md1, okay, and I will use dot underscore dict, and this will show to me in a form of a dictionary the all attributes that we have, even if it's a private or not a private. As you can see, when we print the this instance, we have the above line here, and because it's private, it's excluded. However, I use .dict and I can access even the attribute, the private or public attributes. Then you can restrict .dict method, okay, to not even allow the other to access this method. By now we finished our material for today. We show to you that in data class we have a special method or the dunder method. It is called post init. Post init is used to generate new data based on the above attributes or based on a new on a new field of data you have, okay. And this should be also located in the same location of the attributes, and this should be also shouldn't be considered as a part of the init. So we have to turn off the init of this, and we have also to make the wrapper of false to make this attribute more secure or more private, and we can access finally all attributes in the data class using the dict method as same as we did for the behavioral class. Thank you.